Hey guys, it's Tondro again. So today, I figured I've been doing some thinking and I'm turning 30 this year. So what are 10 things that I wish I knew at 18 now that I'm turning 30? What should someone who's turning 18 this year know about how life is as a 30-year-old living in the big 2026? What's something I would tell my 18-year-old self other than lose the weight, jackass? Well, I'll put it to you like this. Let me grab myself some water real quick. Hold on. Well, what I would tell myself is this. Number one, no help is coming. No help is coming. If you have, for example, I had PTSD. Nobody sat me down. Nobody sat me down and said, "This is how PTSD works," or "This is what you got to do to keep yourself from having a conniption," or "This is what you can do to keep yourself from being triggered." Nobody ever sat me down and taught. All they're going to do is sit down and say, "Oh, do box breathing, box breathing, box breathing, box breathing." And then they say, "Okay, well, that's not helping. What else? What else can we do?" I don't know. You'd be surprised how many doctors I will come to them with a problem and they will say, "I don't know. Hey, my leg is, it hurts whenever I try to move it, and it's at a 45-degree angle that it's not supposed to bend that way. Do you think it's broken?" I don't know. I wish I was joking, but that's just how it is. One of the craziest things is no help is coming. No help is coming. If you're struggling with something, it's up to you. It's up to you. And I've said it before on this channel. I'll say it again. My weight loss, I didn't see a dietitian. I didn't see a doctor. Nothing. All I did was water fast. Today I had like a granola. I had like those stupid granola bars that are filled with sugar and Nutra bars, whatever. They're like, it's like a bar of bread with like some filling in it. I had like 2 of those and like a bottle of kombucha. That's it. The rest of the day, it's gonna be fucking water. It's like Propel water with electrolytes, but it doesn't taste that friggin' good. Let me go check something real quick. All right, number two for all the lads out there. I'm so sorry that I'm walking away all the time, but rule number 2. You don't have time. You don't have time. I thought to myself, I have plenty of time to find myself a job. I just need to keep applying. And I just need to keep going on Indeed every 5 fucking minutes. So I got plenty of time. Well, 100 job applications a day for 3 fucking years, every day for 3 years, it gets to you. You do not have time. Your time on this earth is finite. You make every motherfucking second count. I don't know who the fuck anyone who's telling you that you got time, you do not have time. I'll put it to you this way. I'm 30. Looking back on it now, I was lied to. People should not have told me that nonsense. "Oh, you got time." Trust me, I don't. I got a lot of things. Time ain't one of them. Time, sure as shit, ain't one of them. Heart. Tip 3. You have, I don't want to say you have no hope, but you ain't going to be shit. You ain't gonna be shit. You are not gonna be no doctor, no lawyer, no psychologist, no psychiatrist. You are not gonna be no police officer. You're not gonna be no EMT. Because I had all those dreams. I had all the dreaming and education and preparation in the world. Could not help. It doesn't account for reality. It pales in comparison to what reality will actually throw at you. I'll put it to you this way. I speak 3 languages. I speak English, Russian, and Spanish. I have no criminal record. And I have a certification in automotive engineering, automotive diagnostic and repair. I have a bachelor's degree in fucking computer science. And I have a total of maybe about 4 months of work experience under my belt in total. Like, I had a total of 2 jobs, each one of them lasting me 2 months. That's my entire career. I used to collect donations at a church, and they would pay me under the table. And that gig dried up when the church closed 2 months later, and I was working at a Dunkin' Donuts for about 2 months until COVID happened. So there's that. Speaking of the workplace, if you are lucky enough to get a job, the people around you are not your friends. They are not your fucking friends. Do not ever... listen, your coworkers are not your friends. I would even go so far as to say, depending on what level of education you're at, like high school, yeah, they can be your friends, but college, forget it. Your classmates are not going to be your fucking friends. No way. No way. The moment you enter the adult world, the people around you are not your friend. Your next door neighbor will butcher you with a machete if they think that it's going to benefit them somehow. People will murder you, will unalive you strictly for money. Don't ever trust someone 100% with your life. There's people you can trust more than others, yeah, like my mom. But do I trust my mom to like if I had like a bag of weed and weed was still illegal in this state, would I trust her to keep her mouth shut about it? Fuck no. The person I trust the most in the world, I would say, is my brother. Would I trust him with my glass accordion, or my glass harmonica rather? No, because it's a massive fucking instrument that they don't make a lot of them every year, you know? It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars just to repair the fucking thing. So you can never trust someone fully, unfortunately. And so that's tip 3 and 4. Tip number 5 is for anyone going into college. It doesn't matter what you major in. It doesn't matter what... I would prefer, honestly, people should go into trades more than college. But it doesn't matter what your education is. It does not matter. It does not matter if you are a janitor, this, that, and the third. It doesn't matter if you're like an electrician. It doesn't matter if you're going into college and you're going to become a doctor, or if you're like a professor, you're getting a major in communications. I'll put it to you like this. It doesn't matter what you're doing, your passions, whatever it is that you love, whatever your dream job is, crumple that up, throw it away. What matters is whether or not you're going to make money. If you make it, you know the old saying, if you work a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life? I got some bad fucking news for you. It's the opposite. If you work a job that you hate, but it makes a shit ton of money, you will never work a day in your life. What do I mean by that? Me, I fucking hate cars. I don't know anything about fucking cars. I got a guy who paid me literally $200. Some boomer paid me $200 fucking dollars. Some boomer I live next to paid me $200 fucking dollars just to punch in some bullshit into his radio. He wanted me to fix his radio. There was nothing wrong with his radio. All he had to do, it was literally a case of turn it on, tune it to a station, set the radio so that whenever he punches the number 5 button on the quick select on his little radio, it goes to that radio station. So I go to him and say, okay, your radio is fixed. I know nothing about cars. I have no background. My certifications are allegedly from an unaccredited institution. I don't even remember the name of the college I got them from. And people still will let me have at it, which is crazy. It's all about nepotism. It's all about the people you know. So go make friends with some rich guy in a fucking... Go make friends with some rich dude in a college town somewhere. You'll get somewhere with that. Because most colleges these days are just, playgrounds for the 1% to send their children so they can make networking, they can do networking and whatnot. Colleges are ran by and for the elites. Always remember that. Point number 6 and 7 are more or less going to be, 6, 7 more or less going to be the same thing. Point number 6, brute force is a valid option. What do I mean by that? Well, going back to, I lost a shit ton of weight. I went from 350 pounds down to 170. How did I do that? Brute force. Water fast, just brute force it. Don't think for a second brute force is not an option. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I'll put it to you this way: my ketamine treatment was the same thing. I literally called up my insurance and said, "Hey, listen, you have until this exact date and time to get me connected to ketamine treatment, or I'm just gonna buy it off some dude I know in Seattle in Minecraft." And and it worked. It actually worked. That's the crazy part. The fact that I could just say that to my insurance, say, hey, give me the drug I want, or I'm going to buy it off the street. That worked. That just worked. Leads me to my 7th point, and it's kind of semi-related, is coercion is absolutely okay. Coercion, intimidation, violence, it's all on the table. It is all on the table. It is just a question of whether or not, 1, you have a uniform when you're wearing it, and 2, whether or not it can be proven in court. If you remember anything from this video, remember this. The only thing that matters in life is whether or not it can be proven in court. I'll say it again. The only thing that matters in life is whether or not it can be proven in court. It doesn't matter what you do or how somebody else victimizes you or what happens. It's a question of whether or not you can prove it in court. For example, this one guy stole my barbecue. The propane tanks and everything. I had to then prove in court that he took it. But because I didn't know the exact make and model of the grill, and he then pawned it off to some third party on Facebook Marketplace or some shit, and it's gone, and it's not even in the neighborhood anymore, I can't prove that he has it because he doesn't have it in his house, and nobody knows where it is except him. So no grill. No grill means no proof that a grill was stolen, means I'm short one grill and he's free as a fucking bird to go steal anyone else's shit. So don't think for a second that you're safe. You're not. You are absolutely not. The people around you, they will absolutely sell you out for 30 pieces of silver or what have you. The people who have done the most violence to me, well, obviously, I've said it so many times, I'm done talking about it on this channel, but, the kidnapping. And they were wearing uniform. Imagine what they would be capable of if they didn't have uniforms. Imagine if they didn't have to keep records of these things. Imagine, I'll put it to you this way. Imagine what they would be doing to Palestinians if we didn't have social media. If it was an entire media blackout, there's no people reporting on the ground or anything like that. It's just a case of what this is what we know, imagine what we don't know type shit. Another one too, another point, and this is more about like women, but it's also about friendships, is no relationship lasts forever. Point number 8, no relationships last forever. Not a single one of your relationships that you have now. Imagine the people you are closest to the most in your life, young men. To all the young men and women watching this, to all the people who are turning 18 this year, this video is for you. Imagine all the relationships you have right now. They are going to eventually one day no longer be there. Be it let's say it's me and my mom. One day my mom is not going to be on earth anymore. She's going to be gone. You have to be mentally prepared for when that day comes. You're going to have to say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then this is going to happen. You always, in the back of your mind, a good example is a wife. If you meet the woman of your dreams and you marry and have kids, all that, no matter what you're doing with her, you could be at it could be the wedding night. It can be at the first, child's birth, whatever. No matter what happens, you have in the back of your mind, you got to be okay. You got to be thinking, okay, she files for a divorce. This is how I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to get. This is what I'm going to hide from her. Blah blah blah. This is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to do, and I got to leave. No matter what relationship you have, you gotta have it in the back of your mind how you're going to leave that relationship, or how you want that relationship to end, and what you're going to do when it ends. Maybe not necessarily, it might not end how you expect, but you definitely got to know in the back of your mind, okay, this relationship will one day end. What am I going to do after that? Because you'd be surprised how many times I, as a young man, when I was like 22 years old and didn't know shit about women, that I got fucked up because some woman decided to, break my heart on a whim. It's an unfortunate truth of the matter, Sorry, I keep going over here, but my notes are kind of on my computer, and I don't feel like giving you guys a tour of the room. All right, point number 9. And it kind of stays on the topic of relationship. Point number 9. Don't obsess over women or men or whatever. You are not going to find the one. There is no the one. Soulmates are bullshit. I wouldn't go so far as to say love doesn't exist, but I will say that I'm smart enough to know now not to fall in love. I don't know if this is trauma talking or what, but if I had a son, I would tell him, listen, you can give a woman your body, you can give her your money, you can give her your time, but don't you ever give her your mind, because she will fucking lose it for you and you will end up crazy. Don't ever fucking give her your freedom, because she's going to hand it off to the cops. Don't ever give her your fucking heart. She's going to break it right in front of you with a smile on her face. Don't ever, ever, ever give her your soul. She will sell it to the lowest bidder. And don't ever, 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 you can give her kids too, but don't you ever, ever, ever fucking give her the house. You will end up fucking homeless. It's pretty obvious. Don't ever give her the house. Don't ever give her the house. Assuming any of us buy a house. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're 18 right now, you're cooked. You're not buying no fucking house. Matter of fact, depending on how fucked up we get, you might not have a job. I'll be honest with you. I'd be surprised if there's a government by the time any 18-year-old today turns 30. By the time the average 18, if I was 18 years old tomorrow, right? If I woke up tomorrow and I'm 18 again, and I'm going to be on for another 10 years, I would be shocked if the U.S. government existed in 10 years. The way things are going now. Final point number 10. Point number 10. Let me make sure I get the wording on this, actually. Point number 10. Life comes at you fast. Life comes at you fucking fast. You gotta be prepared for anything. And I mean that literally. Have a will. If you're 18, the moment I turned 18, I understood that, okay, I'm legally an adult now. I need to do adult shit, including a will, including affidavits, including a living will, medical advance notice, things like that, or medical directives, advanced medical directives, things like that. You know, if I end up in a coma, do this. If I end up mentally disabled and I can't wipe my butt, whatever, do that, whatever. If I end up like that one guy who was kicked in the head and by a horse and he's like forever unable to talk and, you know, he pees himself and whatnot. Yeah, no, yeah. Euthanize me, whatever. But you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared for, okay, if I get arrested, this is my plan. Oh, I get taken up by the cops, whatever, this is the plan, blah, blah, blah. Me, I went to fucking, I don't want to get too much into it, but I went to fucking SEER school. It was civilian SEER school, but SEER school nonetheless. Looking back on my kidnapping, if I did anything differently that day, it would have been, I would have gone back to the office of the bitch who ratted me out, and I would say, hey, listen, I want some clarifications, and I would have been recording that shit too. I would have. That's another thing too. If you're seeing a fucking therapist, record every session. Even if you have to do it in secret, record it. And I would say even then, record it in secret. That's what I should have done. Looking back on it, I would have recorded every session I had with that fucking asshole. But what I would have done is this: I would have gone back there, recorded the interaction, blah blah blah. I said, okay, my mistake, whatever, blah blah blah. What I would have done then, assuming it still played out the same and I ended up in that precinct asking, you know, hey, where's my lawyer? What I would have done is this. I would have not signed anything. I would have asked if I was being detained or if I'm free to go. And if they decided to detain me, wrap my ass up in the psych ward again, whatever, the only thing out of my mouth then would have been, I want my attorney. I want to speak to my attorney. I want to speak to my attorney. I want to speak to my attorney. And the moment I sat in front of the judge, I would say, hey, Your Honor, they didn't give me an attorney. I don't have any paperwork in front of me. I was not issued any fucking paperwork. I was issued paperwork by a police officer on this random date that I barely remember. I want on record that the moment I got that paperwork, the staff confiscated it from me, so I don't know what it says. I haven't been informed of my rights. I don't know what my rights are. My attorney is telling me to not fight this or I'll end up in worse trouble. I don't know whether or not I have any legal trouble that I have to deal with, because one guy is saying that I was charged with a stalking charge, and then another guy is saying that I haven't had any charges at all. I just want to go home. You know, I would have fought it. I would have fought it. And the only thing I would have done differently is I would have said less. I would have never said yes or no to anything, because that's how they get you. That is how they get you. That is how they get you. Don't think for a second that the police will not edit footage. They absolutely will. I'm not going to say who, when, or where, but if you're kidnapped, or better, I'll put it in the context of war. If you're captured by Russian forces and you're an American soldier, or you're captured by terrorists, and they ask you, hey, do you want water? And if you say yes or yeah or something like that, if you answer in the affirmative to that, they'll probably have that recorded and edit it so it'll sound like you're being interrogated, and then the guy will ask, do you support Osama bin Laden, whatever, and it'll look like you're saying yes to that. And then they'll use that for propaganda purposes. Don't think for a fucking second that there won't be an America where the police will use that to get a confession. They absolutely will. If you don't think police are going to use AI deep fake shit to get to you know, create evidence that they want to see, oh, you're sadly fucking mistaken. They absolutely will. In the age of the deep fake, a corrupt cop somewhere who wants to see the local homeless guy jailed for flashing, he absolutely, and probably could get away with it. He absolutely can do whatever it is that he wants and create, oh yeah, I know, here's this perfect AI deep fake, totally real audio clip of him threatening to do whatever, or saying that he has whatever on him, or saying yes to the affirmative and confessing to this murder, or saying in the no as well, like, do you love the United States? And if they say no, it's dystopian. It's dystopian. You live in a dystopian panopticon. If you remember anything from this vid, remember that you live in a panopticon. You're always being watched. You're in basically a big open air plantation. It's a question of whether or not you want to be free. Now, that all being said, never let anybody know what you're planning. Stay radical, stay queer, stay free, stay dangerous. You will end up homeless, dead, in jail, all over bullshit fucking drama. Be prepared for that eventuality, because don't think for a second, like, hey, if you're 18, your dad's a trust fund baby, whatever, cool. But don't think for a second you're above, or that's not going to happen to you. It can happen to anybody. I'll put it to you this way. I went to a prep school. I have a bachelor's degree. I still ended up homeless. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. So trust me when I say, don't think for a second it won't happen to you. It absolutely can. It absolutely can. No matter how good you have it in life, have that plan in the background in case you ever do end up homeless, in case you ever do end up getting shot in the chest by some punk with a badge, in case you ever end up, getting put in handcuffs and put in the back of a squad car and the body cam is off, and then the next day you end up dead. Or, or in my case, you get the, you end up in jail with no mugshot being taken, no fingerprints, no processing, no nothing, and you lose 19 days of your freedom with no paperwork other than an address to a day program you're not even court ordered to fucking be at. Anyway, that's about all I gotta say. If you're 18 years old, I am sorry you gotta go through this shit. Hopefully one day there will be a generation of 18-year-olds who do not have to fucking go through this shit. Don't even get me fucking started on climate change and how that's gonna fucking affect all of us. I know it's gonna whoop my fucking ass because, I'm already fucking dirt poor. What hope do I have? I hate to end it on a sour note, but, I'll end it on this. Every time I see children playing in the fucking playgrounds and shit, I'm like, I get depressed. I get depressed. I'm not even gonna fuck with you. The sight of a baby is depressing to me now, because I look at them, and then I look at my life, and I think to myself, I used to be a fucking baby, and I went through a prep school, and I have a bachelor's degree, and I got all these certifications. I got 5 different certifications. I know 5 different trades. I know 7 different, several trades. I know how to play this instrument, that instrument, and a third. I speak 3 languages. I got this, I got 130 IQ, blah, 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 blah. And I still can't get a job, and I'm still living off of SSI and food stamps. And I still spent 2 fucking years straight being homeless. So if that all can happen to me, of all fucking people, what hope do they have? I think to myself every time I see a baby, every time I see a kid, I think to myself, what hope do they have? Because I grew up before the age of AI psychosis and school pewers, right? I grew up where things like that did happen, but they were not as fucking common as they are now. And now it's just like, it's just this weird thing where it's just, what hope do they have? Because I'll put it to you this way, cyberbullying is another aspect of it. When I was a kid, I was happy to be home instead of at school, because when I got home, the bullying stopped. It was before Facebook and social media and all that other shit. Now, if you're a 7-year-old getting bullied in school, you're getting doxxed. The kids know where you live, who you're related to, your first and last name, everything about you, and the bullying ain't gonna stop when you get home. Now it's in your fucking pocket every time you look at your fucking phone. Now it's like your harassers and your bullies and your abusers never leave you. And to me, that's just fucking crazy. So yeah, no, my heart goes out for them. They by every metric, Gen Alpha has it worse than me, and I'm either, depending on where you draw the line, I'm either the youngest millennial or the oldest of Gen Z, depending on where you draw the line. I'd like to believe I'm a Zoomer. I'm kind of more Zoomer than anything, 6'7", 6'7". But that's just where I'm at. And I'm gonna be completely honest, like, I got no beef with the younger people. I got no beef with them. I don't blame them for any of the shit that they're doing or gonna be doing. They're blameless. If anything, they're the victims in this. I think if you're born post 1990, you're the fucking victim in this. Anyway, hopefully things will change. Hopefully, but until then, I just feel sorry for all them kids, man. Because here I am with all my accolades and whatnot, and I'm still squatting in this fucking shack. So, what hope do they have? But hopefully, it's not as hopeless. Anyway, that's about all. Peace out.